So today, we're going to dive into a healing story that, well, it looks like an absolute miracle, but it's actually pure targeted science. We're going to break down how a very specific kind of water helps the body fight back against one of its most dangerous wounds.
Okay, so it all kicks off with this one really dramatic question. You're looking at this picture of a foot, and it's black, it's decaying, but then you see new, healthy, red tissue starting to grow back. How on earth is that possible? What could possibly reverse damage that severe? That's the mystery we're going to solve.
All right, so first things first, we need to understand the problem. We're talking about a wound that just will not heal, specifically the diabetic foot ulcer. It's a condition that for many people with diabetes is a constant and terrifying risk.
You see, a diabetic foot ulcer isn't like a regular cut you might get. Not even close. Because of problems with circulation and nerve damage, even a tiny wound can fail to heal. Instead, it gets infected, it gets deeper, and the tissue itself actually begins to die. That process is called necrosis. It's just this relentless downward spiral of decay.
So what's going on here? Why does the body's own healing system just give up? Well, the real villain in this story isn't some crazy superbug or a flaw in our DNA. It's a chemical imbalance right there in the wound itself.
Okay, check this out. Our healthy skin is supposed to be slightly acidic, right? Around a pH of 5.5. That's its natural armor, its protective barrier. But a chronic diabetic ulcer? It's the complete opposite. It becomes alkaline. Its pH just skyrockets, sometimes up to 9.0. This one little chemical shift is what creates the perfect storm for disaster.
In this alkaline environment, it unleashes two total catastrophes. First, it's like rolling out the red carpet for bad bacteria, which absolutely love these conditions. But second, and you really got to get this part, it flips a switch on these destructive enzymes called MMPs. Think of them as the body's demolition crew, but they've gone rogue. They just start melting away any new healthy cells the body tries to form. It's why the wound is literally eating itself from the inside out.
Okay, so if the wound is basically an enemy-controlled battlefield, the solution has to be a really smart counterattack. And that's where this special acidic water, some people call it proton water, comes in. And listen, this isn't some magic potion. It's a scientific tool designed to reset that battlefield in 3 very specific stages.
So here's the game plan, nice and simple. Step 1, we neutralize the alkaline enemy. Step 2, we deliver a crucial supply, oxygen, to those starving cells. And finally, step 3, with the coast clear and the cells energized, the body can start to rebuild its fortress. Let's break it down.
All right, stage 1, neutralization. When you apply this acidic water, which is just packed with positive hydrogen ions, also known as protons, it has an immediate effect. It's kind of like a targeted acid rain that falls right onto that alkaline wound and just boom, neutralizes it on contact. And the results are instant. By forcing the pH back to its natural acidic state, those out-of-control, flesh-melting MMPs, they get shut down. Immediately. The demolition just stops. And at the same time, that acidic environment is totally hostile to the bad bacteria, so it acts like a natural disinfectant. For the first time in a long time, the body actually has a fighting chance.
But wait, cleaning the wound and stopping the decay, that's just half the battle, right? The cells deep down in the tissue are still suffocating. They have no oxygen. So how in the world do you get life-giving oxygen into an area that has terrible circulation? This is where the real genius of this whole thing comes into play.
The answer is something called the Bohr effect, discovered way back in 1904, and it's actually pretty simple. Our red blood cells are basically programmed to drop off more oxygen whenever they sense things are getting acidic. It's a built-in safety mechanism our body uses all the time. So here's what happens. Those protons from the water, they sink deep into the tissue, creating this powerful acid signal. Now the red blood cells floating by in the tiny blood vessels, they detect this signal and think, whoa, emergency. So they do exactly what they're programmed to do. They just dump their entire cargo of oxygen right there. It's like a localized oxygen explosion precisely where it's needed most. And this analogy is just perfect for understanding what's happening. The acidic signal is basically tricking the body. The red blood cells think they've arrived at a muscle that just ran a marathon and is screaming for oxygen. You're essentially hijacking the body's own super efficient delivery system to flood this dying area with life.
Okay, so now the decay has stopped. The cells are getting a massive flood of oxygen.
For the first time, they have what they need to make energy, to power up. They can finally wake up from that suffocating state and get back to their real job, rebuilding.
And this rebuilding part is just a beautiful, natural sequence of events. First, you get angiogenesis. The body starts growing brand new blood vessels to restore circulation. Then you see that healthy pink granulation tissue filling in the wound from the bottom up. And finally, through epithelialization, a new layer of skin stretches over the top, sealing the fortress for good.
So when you look back at this whole journey, from a black, dying wound to healthy pink skin, the most important thing to remember is that this isn't magic, not at all. It's just a step-by-step application of pure biology and chemistry.
This chart really puts it all together. You start with that black weeping wound because it's alkaline, the MMPs are going crazy, and there's no oxygen. Then, in the middle stage, the pH gets corrected, the bad enzymes are shut off, and the Bohr effect kicks in to deliver oxygen. That's when you see the edges turn red with life. And in the final stage, the cells have energy, they're building new blood vessels, and you get healthy new skin. And that really brings us to the most powerful idea in all of this. The treatment itself isn't what's healing the wound. It's just giving the body the basic materials and the right conditions it needs to turn its own amazing healing systems back on.
So if you take one thing away from all this, let it be this. The process simply stops the destructive cycle of decay, and it starts the body's own natural healing program. It's like hitting a reset button. After that, the body does all the incredible work itself.
It's just such an elegant solution to a really devastating problem because it works with the body's own logic instead of against it. And it really does leave you wondering, with a lot of hope, by understanding and fixing the basic chemistry of these wounds, could this be the start of a whole new chapter in how we approach healing?